What's up and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Nick with another video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the recent years of the Houston Rockets. Not a full in-depth look per se, because that would take over 5 hours, but a look at the Chris Paul years, the season with Russell Westbrook, and post 2019. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and enjoy. The team that couldn't hit a three in the 2018 playoffs. The Houston Rockets. Missing 27 threes in Game 7 isn't what we're here for today, though. We're here for the years after and the dismantling of the James Harden years. But let's talk about the 7-game series in 2018. A win in this game would have meant a first finals appearance for the Rockets since Hakeem Olajuwon won back-to-back championships in the 90s. It would have been a LeBron versus James final. Save your applauses. Thank you, thank you. Good joke. I know it was. Thank you, thank you. Chris Paul, who suffered an injury in Game 5 of the Warriors series, changed the trajectory of the Rockets forever. This was the Rockets' one and only chance to beat the Warriors. If you're familiar with the Warriors and Rockets history, you would know that this series meant a lot to Houston fans. Courtesy of landofbasketball.com, since 2015, the Rockets have lost every playoff matchup between the two sides, from first round exits to conference final exits. The Rockets' best chance to beat the Warriors was in 2018, Durant versus Harden, Curry versus Paul. The third playoff matchup of the 5 came down to a Game 7, in which Houston couldn't finish off the dubs. The Warriors super team were going to dismantle the hopeless LeBronzo, own the NBA, the Cavs, in 4 games, a sweep. The 2018-19 Houston Rockets rolled into the season with pretty much the same cast of characters. Harden upped his level scoring-wise. And from December 18th, 2018 to February 24th of 2019, Harden would finish with at least 30 points in a game. Kobe Bryant, NBA legend, called this play style questionable though, saying, "I don't think this style is ever going to win championships." So from the outside looking in, fans around the league were wowed by Harden's scoring excellence, but this was seeming to be the beginning of the end of Harden and Paul. Skipping the first round series, Houston played in 2019, moving on to the second round with a much different but still strong Warriors team. Durant, who was rumored to be leaving Golden State that offseason due to a rift between he and Warriors teammate Draymond Green, Durant would be sidelined with a calf injury. So this was round 4 and round 2 of Paul and Harden and the Rockets versus Clay, Dre, and Curry. And the new addition, DeMarcus Cousins. Shout out to Gideon. But just like the previous year, in like 2015 and 2016, the Rockets lost once again. And this offseason will see a huge shakeup in Houston. A new era in Houston, which led to the Thunder winning the NBA title this season. In July 2019, Russell Westbrook was traded away from OKC for Chris Paul, and the Rockets would send over 2 first-round picks in 2024 and in 2026, and a potential first-round pick swap in 2021 and 2026. In the 2024 draft, the Thunder will select Nikola Topic, who seems like he'll be another key piece, another run to the finals for the Thunder. Going back to Russ in the 2019 Rockets though, the team was about the same as constructed, only substituting CP3 with Russ. In what would eventually be Mike D'Antoni's last season as head coach of the Houston Rockets, we will see the squad still as successful as can be, but still not able to get over the hump. Clint Capella, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, PJ Tucker, and even at a certain point in the season, Tyson Chandler. But this team said, no. Let's go small ball, like Warriors 2015 small ball. In 2019, in a league that was being taken over by big men once again, especially in a conference that had rookie Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis, and a Nikola Jokic who was 1 season away from capturing his first NBA MVP. D'Antoni thought, let's trade away Clint Capella and run a system that will virtually make PJ Tucker our center. Yes, positionless basketball is a thing, but size is also a thing, and the Rockets will lose the size matchup on most nights and in the 7-game series. And against a team that ran with 2 bigs, the size matchup would be tested even more. The Rockets will finish the 2019 regular season with a record at 44-28 and the 4th seed, and will go up against Chris Paul. CP3 led a young Shai Gilgeous-Alexander only in his 2nd season, and a young cast of characters on the Thunder all the way to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook, who was at the time dealing with a hamstring injury, we're going for this intense series against the only organization he'd ever known. The stage was set in the 2020 Orlando bubble. Amidst the pandemic, social unrest, and more, the series was off and set. And a thrilling 6 games up to this point before a big defensive play in Game 7 by James Harden. Yeah, I said it. James Harden and a defensive play. Let me say that again. Big defensive play by James Harden. Harden would block defensive standout Lou Dort's potential game-winning 3 in Game 7. And as the ball came back down into Dort's hand, he turned and tried to fire the ball off of Harden. But Harden leaps into the air, both legs open, and boom, that sealed the series for Houston. Not one of Harden's signature double setbacks, but a great defensive play. On to the second round, where the Rockets will meet a fresh Lakers team who just gentlemen swept Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers. LeBron, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo, Danny Green, the team cheerleader J.R. Henny-Man-Smith, and the aforementioned Anthony Davis. This is what the Rockets should have feared, a team with 2 big men who can easily dominate the Rockets in the paint. And just like the lowly Blazers, the Rockets were gentlemen swept as well. Little did Rockets fans know, this was the end of an era. In an already shortened offseason due to the pandemic and bubble pushing the 2019-2020 season out for so long, the Houston Rockets will ship off point guard Russell Westbrook to the Wizards in exchange for point guard John Wall. Media reports came out that Westbrook had issues with Harden and his seemingly non-caring attitude, like showing up late for team takeoffs, practices, and more. Now Westbrook and Washington with Bradley Beal so they could form a dynamic duo. Houston still had a great roster, signing DeMarcus Cousins, who at this point was far past his prime due to repeated lower body injuries. He will be paired in a big man duo of him and Christian Wood. This will be Wood's best season of his career, with his averages being 21 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game. Harden, Wall, and Wood will form a formidable trio in the H. So we thought. The Rockets, who decided to part ways with head coach Mike D'Antoni, hired unproven Mavs assistant Stephen Silas, son of late Paul Silas. Silas now had to deal with a superstar who was out partying with Lil Baby, possibly gaining weight, and that's what he did. In a matchup against the Lakers in December of 2020, Harden seemed to have gained a few extra pounds, and this game against the Lakers will write the beginning of the end for Harden's time in Houston. Harden, who had brought an MVP to Houston, will be traded shortly after to the Brooklyn Nets to team up with former Thunder teammate and former MVP Kevin Durant and former NBA champion Kyrie Irving. Things didn't work out for that trio either due to not having enough game time together. But sticking on the Rockets front, the Rockets will go through the dreaded rebuild years under Stephen Silas. But in these years, they found some great pieces for the future. Jalen Green, Amin Thompson, Alperen Sengun, and Tari Eason. The Rockets would also find their next head coach after Silas, Ime Udoka, who had his own baggage off the court, but he would become the new head coach leading a new era in Houston. Udoka, who would bring a hard-nosed, defensive-minded squad, bringing in guys like Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet. And in the 2024-2025 season, the Rockets will be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. In Udoka's first season in Houston, the Rockets will finish with a .500 record at 41-41, missing out on the play-in by 5 games to the Warriors. But in Udoka's second season in charge, Udoka will lead the squad back to the playoffs in a deep run in the NBA Cup. First, in the NBA Cup, the Rockets will lose to future NBA champion, the OKC Thunder, 111-96, and also finishing behind OKC with the second seed in the Western Conference with a record of 52-30. But the same thing happened in Houston. They would lose to the Warriors, the 7th seed, in 7 games. Houston knew that to win, they needed to bring in proven talent. So that's what they did by trading for former league MVP Kevin Durant in a big 17 deal, where they also brought back former big man Clint Capella. The Rockets will trade away a young piece in Jalen Green due to inconsistency and a big 3-and-D piece for the team in Dillon Brooks. But the team would grab Dorian Finney-Smith, who left as an unrestricted free agent from the Lakers this offseason. The future looks bright in Houston, and fans in Houston hope this roster will lead Houston to their 3rd ring. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, comment down below with more video suggestions of other teams that I should do videos like this on. Follow my Instagram, it will be down below, and my Twitter and TikTok. Comment down below any other video suggestions, and I'll see you next time in the next upload. Peace.